Like this video? Why not subscribe? Welcome to Q&A Mondays here at MH News. I'm your host, Matt Haslam. Now, if you missed it last week, we did an entire week on visual effects with our good friend and special guest, Chris Krasnowski. On Monday, we had a Q&A episode. We had a bloopers episode as well with all the bloopers from an entire day of filming for those episodes. And we also had a Thursday episode, which included a visual effects breakdown. And Chris explained how he made and rendered an entire outer space shot, which is a really awesome shot that we ended up using for the title sequence to that entire week of episodes. So if you didn't check it out, go check it out after this video. I promise you're gonna love it. We also have a audio week coming up in a couple weeks here, so stay tuned for that. But this is a question that you guys sent in a little bit after that whole episode was filmed, so sorry we didn't get to it back then, but this comes from Damien. What considerations in pre-production and shooting will make visual effects easier, better, and cheaper? Basically, I can answer that as a producer. I can't answer it as a visual effects artist because I'm not one, but what makes it easier is bringing in a VFX artist as quickly as possible. I know in that Q&A Mondays episode, no, on Thursday episode, Chris mentioned that, you know, it really depends on the project. For me as a producer and as a director, I want the visual effects artist there as soon as possible. That way I can make things easy on him. The easier I make a shot for a visual effects artist, the better it's going to be in the end because I'm giving them exactly what they want and what they need. For instance, if they want or they need a 4K shot, I need to shoot it in 4K. I can't shoot it in 1920 because they need a better resolution. You know, all that kind of stuff factors in. You need to have it lit a certain way for visual effects artists to go in there and do his thing afterwards. To make it cheaper in the end, the easier you make it on a visual effects artist, the better it's going to be for you in the end as far as budget goes because the less time it's going to take them. If you give them a horrible, horrible shot, they're going to take weeks on a shot that should have taken maybe an hour. So definitely a consideration to put in there is in pre-production and during shooting, have the visual effects artist there on a constant basis. Have them with you every day you're shooting a scene that you're going to end up giving them. They don't need to be there for every single shot, but have them there for shots that you're going to end up giving them. Sorry about that. Next question. Alex asked, how do you move from one place to another without wobbling the camera? That's an easy question. There's a thing called a Steadicam. It's an entire vest that you wear, and it makes the entire shot really, really steady. If you haven't seen one, it really does make the entire shot a really great shot. But the things are like 10 grand a piece. Fortunately, I've had the chance to work with one before, but I've never actually bought one because they're too expensive. But that makes a shot really, really steady. If you don't have a budget for that, then I suggest getting a shoulder rig. And basically the shoulder rig that I have, it basically ends right at the shoulder. So we built this entire weight system. It's, you know, 10 pounds here. It's huge pieces of metal that are bolted together with threaded rod. And then this bolts onto the back end of my shoulder rig. And it's an extra 10 pounds behind me because all my camera gear is up here, including my H4n audio recorder, a microphone, and the camera itself. So it has to balance out, and if you don't have a balance in your shoulder rig, you're never going to get a steady shot. I know basically I started out trying to do a shot without having a counterbalance there, and it just doesn't work. You need counterbalance to make a steady shot. Now, you may have seen some of the photos on our Matt Haslam Productions website or on our Facebook page and said there's some great photos there, but never before have you been able to order those photos and have them sent directly to your home in printed form. Now introducing the Matt Haslam Productions Photography Store. Just go to matthaslamproductions.com and click on Photography and then Store to order any of the best photos we've ever taken. Prints start at just $2.50 a piece and include free shipping anywhere in the continental US or Canada. Or drop us a line at mathhaslamproductions.com to tell us what photos you would like to order. Next question. I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce your name. Horve? Something like that. How to light a night dialogue between two actors. You want it believable. So I would find a place that's next to a street light or something like that, or make it seem like you're next to a street light or something, and put your light up as high as you can possibly go and aim it in the sort of the same angle downward. That way it looks believable. Because if you have a scene and you're just lighting it, the news does this a lot whenever they're on the road, and it's news, so they're obviously bringing their own lights with them. But if you're doing a scene that's supposed to look like a night scene, make it look like a night scene. Don't have too much light. You don't want too much light. Have a lot of shadows, and you need to be a really great cinematographer, and you need to be a really great lighting engineer and designer to make that shot work. So keep all that in mind. Let's see here. Can a shot list replace a storyboard if need be? Yes, I've done plenty of things without a shot list or without a storyboard, actually. So if you're the director and cinematographer, then usually your shot list is just in your head. But it can definitely replace a storyboard. You don't need a storyboard every time. I've done plenty of products that don't have storyboards. Simple as that. For a big project, yes, you do need a storyboard, but it's just not worth it for a small little, especially a show like this where you don't need a storyboard. Next question. Leonard asked, should you consider weight for any new equipment? Hell yes. I don't, but yes, you should. I probably do that wrong. Whenever I buy a piece of equipment or something like that, I don't really consider the weight of it. For a shoulder rig, yes, I do consider the weight because it's going to be on my shoulder. But I'll buy sandbags or something then, and you don't care about the weight because you need the weight. You need extra weight there. For a light stand, you need the weight there. I have light stands that are over 100 pounds a piece. It's just how it goes, because you need the weight there to hold like moving heads or something like that are 30 feet up in the air, and you need some sort of weight in that stand to hold it from blowing over, because if you have that outdoors and a big curtain on it for a backdrop, you can't have the entire thing blown over, so you need the weight there. Yes, you should consider the weight, and I typically consider the weight, but I try to make things as heavy as possible because I know the heavier it is, the less likely it is it's going to blow over or something like that. Plus, have crew members. You don't really care about the weight. So that's our questions for today. Just kidding about that, by the way. Sorry, crew. But that's our questions for today. If you like your question right on the show, please go to mhnews.info and submit using our brand new online form. Thank you guys for joining us. And please, if you haven't checked it out, go check out VFX Week here last week. Again, link is in the description below. Also on the blog post, you can go check out the entire VFX Week. It was an awesome week with Chris Krasnowski in the studio. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please go to mhnews.info and submit to be a guest. No matter where you live in the world, we'll definitely have you on the show because we love having guests in collaborative weeks like that. So also saying that, in a couple weeks here, we're going to have a live audio week, a live event week going on with one of our friends, Dave Walters, is going to be on the show. So definitely look forward to that. Thanks, everyone, for submitting all your questions, and have a great week.
Today on Matt Haslam News.
It's not Matt Haslam News.
Sorry. Today on MHNews.
Do it. Totally. If you ever want to talk to a VFX artist that normally hides in the back production, don't. They're weird. It's a weird little place back there.
Yeah, we have cookies and dragons and shit.
Cookies and dragons. This conversation has gone full circle.